How to build an unbreakable team. What's going on, everyone? It's Blandon here again from Elite 4 TV, and sorry, I lied. All teams are breakable. However, if we can find our weaknesses, we can make adjustments and find a better strategy to play with. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use this team builder spreadsheet that I've made. If you guys are already a subscriber, you guys probably seen this from last month for Tempest Cup. If you guys are a newcomer, please, if you enjoy this video and learn something, like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. It gives me more motivation to come up with things like this for you guys. In summary, what is this going to allow you to achieve? Number one, it's going to allow you to quickly find out where your team's weaknesses are against the 20 Kingdom meta Pokemon. Now, secondly, it's going to allow you to build better duos and trios when you're playing against your opponent, so you can have the best coverage for the Pokemon that you're choosing. And thirdly, you're going to be able to analyze your opponent's team of 6 Pokemon against your own 6 Pokemon and see where the weaknesses are and sort of formulate a strategy. Disclaimer, before I get in, this can only serve as a guide, okay? The battle rating data that I've downloaded in this spreadsheet is from pvpoke.com, so shout out to Matt. So all the numbers are defaults. They assume that the opponent will shield the lowest energy charge move, so do keep that in mind. And at the end of the day, nothing is more important than practicing the actual matches, knowing them very, very well inside out. Your lead, your energy advantage, switch, and shield baiting, those are going to be very important factors for your matches, okay? So make sure you guys practice. Now, without further ado, let's get into it and look at how we can use this. Right, so before I start, I'm also going to make this top 10 sheets that you guys might have watched a video for available to download as a PDF. So if you guys prefer more of a visual version of the meta analysis, then this is the one for you guys. So it'll be the link down below, you can download it. Let's begin having a look at this spreadsheet. So in the data sheet, what this is the top 20 meta that I've chose. Again, Lapras is missing in there with the Dragon Pulse, but you do have the Water Gun, Surf, Ice Beam, and that's the most common one you're going to see. So if you go across this, you're going to be able to see all the Pokemon that I've plugged in, and all of them have these numbers on them. So don't get confused. These are battle rating. If you don't know what this is the battle rating on PvPoke. If it's above 500, it means it's a positive matchup for this Pokemon here. If it's below 500, it's going to lose. So for example, Oteria is going to be very negative against Bastardin. It's not going to do much damage. And it's going to be 500 against Oteria because it's a mirror match. And then also, if it's against a Blaziken, it's going to be beating it in the 0 shield matchup very positively. 1 shield, 774 rating, and then 2 shield, same result, because Blaziken will be pretty much finished by Dragon Breath. So that's what it means. And so what's really important here, if you just take a quick look, the more dark green there are on the Pokemon, the more positive matchup it has. So if you look at Bastardin, you can see straight away there's a ton of positive matchups that Bastardin have, and you can see its battle rating is quite high. And the more red it has, it means that it has a lot of losing matchup. So Bronzong, you can see, is not dark red but light red, so it actually lose, to quite a few Pokemon in the meta. But it does have some really, really key matchups, as you can see, such as Blaziken, Oteria, as well as Dragonair, and it can even take on the Lucario with 2 shields or 1 shield as an even matchup. So if you guys haven't watched the top 10 meta Pokemon video, this is the link down here, so do check it out if you guys haven't. Now, the second spreadsheet that you're going to have a look at is the trio builder. The trio builder here, you want to have a look at straight away the losses, draws, and wins. What this basically means is that if you have Bastardin and Lucario, you're only going to lose to Oteria in 2 occasions. That is your Lucario facing the Oteria in a 0 shield match or a 2 shield match. So that's very important to know. In the one shield match, you're going to be able to beat it, or if your bastard comes out, you're going to be able to beat it very easily. So what you want to look for as a duel is you want to look for anything below 3 in the red zone. What that basically means is that you have pretty much perfect coverage, because if you look at Bastardin and Lucario, they are only, if you look at Bastardin and Lucario on this duel list, it's almost perfect coverage. And the one Pokemon that they will lose to is Blaziken, the one that really stands out. As you can see, this is red or a even match for 0 shields. So that's very important. But everything else, very, very positive matchup, except for Metagross. Metagross has 1 even matchup with the Lucario and 3 negative matchup. So looking at the trio, if you add a third Pokemon in, such as Charizard, you can look at the trio table. And the trio table is going to allow you to have a quick look at where your weaknesses are again. And let's have a look at the team builder. So the team builder here, you're going to be able to drop down to choose your 6 Pokemon. You've got Lapras, Watergun, Dragon Pulse, as well as Ice Shard Lapras. And you're going to be able to just choose your 6 here. And straight away, once you've chosen your 6, you'll be able to have a look at where your weaknesses are again. Because if you see this team here, which is the ball core, Bastardin, Oteria, Lucario, and Lapras, those are the full core plus a Flygon and Charizard. With this 6, your weaknesses are going to be, obviously, Lucario. You only have 5 wins, 4 draws, and 9 losses. And then Lapras is actually quite positive against this team as well, because Flygon and Charizard will both lose to Lapras. So Lapras is actually a very good choice against this line. Once you've chosen your team in your team builder, you'll be able to look at the 6 Pokemon against your opponent's 6. So you can again drop down for your opponent's Pokemon, and you'll be able to see where are your positive matchups. So for example, against this lineup, my best lead would be potentially Lapras, because it's the safest, because you can see most of this matchup is white or light red, meaning even if I guess wrong, I'm going to have a decent matchup, and if I guess right, I have a slight advantage. And then also Bastardin is a very good lead, because unless you're facing a Lucario or Blaziken, you got a positive matchup against pretty much everything. So that's also a good lead. Now there's also this drop down here. You'll be able to just drop down and see where your most positive matchups are, and you can see straight away Lucario, Bastardin, and Flygon are your top 3. What's really important though is you got to make sure that they don't have one single weakness. So if you have a look at Bastardin, Lucario, and Flygon, with these 3, you are going to be weak against Lucario. So you have to be really careful, because the only way you're going to beat that Lucario is using your own Lucario, because it's going to beat down your Bastardin and your Flygon. So you're going to make sure you play 3 Pokemon that have good coverage for each other. And again, you can use the trio builder to figure out which ones are most positive. And if you scroll down a little bit more, you'll be able to just, have a look at what your opponent's 3s are and see how that line up against your team. So for example, if your opponent is playing Lucario, Bastardin, Oteria, and if I play Lucario, Oteria, Flygon, I'm very weak against the Oteria. You see, I've got 5 losses and 3 even match. I've only got 1 chance to win against Oteria. So this is a bad lineup against this particular lineup. Now lastly, on the last sheet, with Kang's permission, he allowed me to have a look at his team and just give you guys a quick analysis. This is the team that he's been using on his PvP streams. And straight away, what you want to look for is something that has the most positive matchup. And you can see straight away, Lucario stands out, and it's got tons of green, and it's only weak against the Charizard. If you watch his videos, he will almost always bring his Charizard. Now, what's important for him is to make sure his Charizard gets a matchup with the Lucario, or at least get rid of the Lucario early so that his team doesn't get owned by Lucario. So that's very important. And also he's got Lucario versus Lucario. That's also a good matchup. If he can get rid of the Lucario, his team is going to do quite well as well. So again, we look at which one are the top Pokemon, Lucario, Oteria, Lapras being the best. But in this lineup, again, you got to be careful because Lucario and Lapras will go down quite quickly depending on shield priority. So if I was to go against this team, I would try and bait out the Charizard somehow. I want to get rid of the Charizard so then Lucario can sweep. But in practice, I've had a few matches with Kiang and it's actually really hard. Even though I noticed this, he hides his Charizard really, really well, and he'll almost always get his Charizard facing my Lucario. The other two things that he does really well in is that he hardly ever makes mistakes, and in my practice I make a lot of mistakes, so he will punish the mistakes that I make. And also the fact that he reads you quite well, and it's really, really hard to get a positive lead against Kiang. But hopefully in the next few days I can do a few more with Kiang, and hopefully I have some good matches to show you guys. So again, if you guys found this to be valuable, I would really appreciate it if you guys like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more updates. And if you guys stay till here, I want to give out a challenge for you guys. And the challenge is to find the best duos and trios, and then leave a comment down below. And I will feature the top 10 duos and trios from you guys in another video. So what constitute as a great duo or trio is that they have perfect coverage and the losses are minimal. So play around with the spreadsheet and find teams that have very minimal losses, best coverage for duo and trio. Go! I'll see you guys next time.